Welcome to Question Time from Channels Television. I'm Benga Ashiru. Now, the last might not have been heard of the former President Obasanjo's public letter to President Buhari. One of the key highlights of this letter is the call for President Buhari not to seek re-election in 2019. Now, this criticism is based on what President Obasanjo describes as poor performance of the current administration. You can also be part of this conversation. Send us a comment on our social media platforms shown on your screen. Days after the scathing remark from the former president, the political space has been widely divided into two major camps. Those who feel the president has done its best and therefore should be given a chance to seek a second term in office, and they're even taking this campaign to the social media with the emphatic hashtag, I stand with Buhari. On the other divide, the coalition against 2019 is taking its campaign beyond the national frontiers, seeking international sympathy with the Carter Foundation and other prominent voices in the international community. This heated debate has attracted the attention of one of the watchdogs in the international community, the Transparency International. Channels TV crew had a chat with the chairman board of Transparency International Nigeria, Mr. Awal Musa Rafsanjani, as we take an assessment of the President Buhari's administration in over the last 2 years.
The letter written by the former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, to the current president, Muhammadu Buhari, pointing out some of the concern that he has, and also many Nigerians they also have. Just a reminder to the fact that there's need for us at every given time to always remind ourselves and tell ourselves the truth that there are some concerns that need to be addressed. So the letter speaks out to many, lapses that, he observed, which many Nigerians have also observed. And I think, if we take it, with good faith, it is something, it is an advice that the President, Muhammadu Buhari should take to see where he can address some of those gaps or some of those concerns, rather than just dismissing those concerns, because these are concerns that exist. And many Nigerians, they have been expressing it even before the President Obasanjo actually wrote his letter. So I think these are genuine concerns. They are legitimate concerns for anybody who wishes the country well. I think, we should actually take this, as a way of contribution by any well-meaning Nigerian, that there are some problems that we need to be, addressed. Maybe perhaps the manner in which the letter was written, maybe perhaps somebody could say it could have been better, since the President Obasanjo has access to Muhammadu Buhari. You could also as well maybe make it a more personal to meet with the President Buhari to point out to him, since he is not afraid of him. He can always see him as his junior brother or as somebody who has a stake in the Nigerian project. Now,
you have raised concern about the manner of approach of the former president, for someone who is a former leader of the country, having an unfettered access to the current president and taking the option of writing a public letter. Do you see the possibility of having an agenda or a motive beyond the normal concern for governance or service to the nation?
Well, everything we do is politics. That's the reality. I'm a student of politics, and therefore, I know that everything, you do, whatever decision you take, it's political. So I don't think this is, a problem, for somebody that is a political scientist. I don't see anything that is not politics. Every decision you take in your life, it's political. Your decision to do X, Y, Z is political.
Now, the federal government also have responded, maybe we can say promptly, and they've made a bold claim that the federal government is up to task, that possibly the former president has been having international commitments and engagement that has prevented him from saying the achievements of the President Buhari administration. What do you have to say to that?
Well, I think, to be fair to you, the administration, based on its commitments, brought 3 commitments they made to achieve, which is the area of security, fighting corruption, and economy. Well, in some areas, they have performed excellently well. In other areas, there are real concerns. And I think one of the major problems that this administration suffers is lack of communication strategy. They don't appear to have really strong communication strategy to Nigerians. They are not speaking to Nigerians. They are not speaking well to Nigerians on their concern and also even their achievement. This idea of reacting to concern or allegation, I don't think it is the best way to govern the country. The government should have developed communication strategy to reach out to Nigerians and international community on what actually they are doing. If you are able to do that, Nigerians will not be looking for information that might not necessarily be correct. Secondly, the administration also suffers from having political strategies that can be able to engage in political conversation, political discussion toward resolving issues in Nigeria. Like I mentioned to you, everything is political. So if there are grudges and there are concerns, you need to have a genuine political conversation, discussion, with different stakeholders, because there are so many people who are being squeezed that are not actually enjoying what they are used to enjoy. So there's no some people didn't get access to free money, so it is a problem for them in this administration. Some people, they have corruption cases. It is a problem for them with this administration.
Corruption is one of the issues raised by the former president Obasanjo, and he said that this in President Buhari's way of fighting corruption, that he has adopted a manner of looking the other way when it concerns people that are perceived to be his associates, and he wields the iron fist when it's an opponent. Is this true?
I am not too sure if this is absolutely true, because I know there are some party members, that there are some people who share the same political party with the Mr. President, that they are actually facing trial. The former Adamawa State Governor, Murtala Nyako, was one of the first people facing trial under the current administration. There are quite a number of members, even in the Senate, who are from the same party with the Mr. President, that are also facing trial. So I don't think it is about a political party or about the people from, Idiniko regional thing. As you can see, the Suki is still, facing, trial. I think it has to do with the perception that Nigerians are having that the government, is not responding, on timely basis to issues, and that gives room for speculation, that gives room for people to begin to think, and you don't blame them, because when there is no appropriate and timely response to issues.